I don't know, but
Interesting.
we start this. All right, so we got this little thing, and it's like little topics in here, right? And it has like a little topic in here. You'll pull out one, and you just gotta talk about it for 30 seconds. That's how we start out the show.
All right, bet.
Easy
Cool.
peasy.
Well, I'll go first, man.
Hopefully it's not a bad one.
Hopefully it's not a bad one.
Said, don't let me get raisins again or I'll freak out.
Sipping on clean.
Should we need that sponsorship?
We roll. Oh yeah, we are rolling.
Roll,
All right.
rolling.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
I got waterbed.
Waterbed?
Yes. Yeah, waterbed.
That'll work.
Yeah, let's see what you can say about that. Let me get my time.
You got it?
If you wanna run it for me,
Yeah, I got you.
I'd be
Just a sec.
obliged.
You ready?
Yeah.
And go.
All right, waterbeds are pretty dope, man. I remember my cousin's mom had one, and we were fucking playing on it like it was a jungle gym when I was a kid, and I went over his crib. But also, you know, I feel like if you have a waterbed, you're just automatically looked at as this like kind of like freaky, sex-driven person, and it doesn't always have to be like that. You might just like it's pretty comfortable, and it's like and it's cold too.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you'll never be hot, but I'm not gonna get a waterbed because it seems a little outdated and it's a little unsafe.
Boom. Yeah, man, that's tough. I mean, waterbeds are pretty cool. I mean, I just kind of be nervous. You like drop something on it. I mean, imagine the mess that happens. You like, oh, I'm eating in bed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I got a knife and a fork, and I drop the knife, and then you got a completely waterlogged bedroom. It's like, cool. This is my life now.
Like doesn't seem like it belongs. You know, it's like I don't know, just a big ass like
maybe if you
thing
had like
of like water in the middle of your bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
what
Like
if you had like a boat and you had a waterbed and like that would be cool. That's the setup.
a boat with a waterbed on the boat.
Yes.
Damn.
I want to like sleep on 2 layers of the ocean.
Talk
at
about
once.
the motion of the ocean.
I need all the motions. Don't mind me.
All right, go ahead, man.
I'm just trying to live my best life on a waterbed.
Hey, man, I ain't mad at you.
Don't mind me. I'm trying to live life aquatic. Call me Steve Zissou, boy. Flavor of love.
Dang. All right.
Got flavor. You can't see that, but it's pretty cool.
All right, hold on. Hold them up. Flavor of love. All right, 30 seconds for Flavor of Love starting now.
So, in full transparency, I never actually watched Flavor of Love. I missed the boat,
Dang.
but I do recall my man was out here just Flavor Flav said, I'm going to fall in love with Bridget Nielsen, and that's like who I'm going to wind up whining and dining. And whole time I watch clips that they show on TV, and it's be like, my man is out here romancing Ivan Drago's wife in Rocky IV and all that. And then I come to find I think they even were like wedded afterwards, and I was like, damn, this is like going beyond reality TV. I'm watching my man Flavor Flav find love of his life. I'm like, it makes me feel good. Maybe I too can find love of my life.
Damn.
Maybe I could find someone from a Rocky movie and be like, hello, I'd like to make a reality show with
She was in a Rocky movie?
Yes, bro. Bridget Nielsen, she was like the confidant for Ivan Drago, and she would like sit there. She had like the Russian get up on, and she was like, he is the best. He will destroy all American fighters. And I was like, damn, bro, that's intense. My man's yoked up and all that. I wouldn't want to fight him. That's tough. No, thank you.
Damn, man. I wasn't in the Flavor of Love like when it first hit TV, like season 1, and everybody's like talking about the premiere and shit. But like, I did get into it when I was like, probably like, 15, 16, maybe even 14, I'd say.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, it's some pretty good, trashy, old reality TV, As a kid, you kind of, like, develop these crushes on, like, certain girls on the show because it's just a house full of women. Right?
Yeah.
And some of them are just kind of, like, 6s, but some of them are,
So what you're saying is you was crushing on somebody from Flavor of Love.
Not the 6s, though.
He said, I was crushing on Bridget Nielsen, bro. I said, I said, no.
I don't know.
That's my wife, Flavor Flav.
Nah, but Flavor of Love, it's pretty good. I like it better than I Love New York.
That was premium trash TV though. That was fun. They said we
actually no.
New York.
I've grown a different sort of like respect for I Love New York because it's something about like I like watching like dudes just act like idiots over women rather than women acting like idiots over Flavor Flav. You know what I'm saying?
Don't watch Rock of Love then.
Hell no, bro.
That boy Frank sat me down. He said, "We're watching Rock of Love now." And I watched like an episode and I was like, I feel like not great watching this. There's too much people trying to fight over Bret Michaels. And he's just like, I just want to have sex with all these ladies. I'm like, bro, like, you're on TV. You like need to chill out with all that, man. Damn. But yeah, I Love New York probably got a little bit more charm to it than otherwise.
And there were some women from Rock of Love that were on The Real Chance of Love.
Really?
Real and Chance that were on
I remember that,
I Love New York. They there's a lady from I'm thinking of I Love Money, actually. There was a show called I Love Money, and they took people from all the different reality shows and put them on an island and make them do like physical challenges and stir up trouble and fucking make them fight each other and shit.
And this is for money.
Yeah. And they have to they be building alliances and like trying to like get people like voted off. It's some like real conniving, trifling ass
what
shit.
Is this, Survivor with a briefcase full of cash and all that?
Dude, I was talking about on my other homie's podcast, on Jordan's podcast, Tunap. Shout out to them. I was basically saying that like reality TV is just basically the Stanford prison experiment, pretty much.
Wow.
You know, because they put all those kids in that prison and then they're like, okay, you're a prison guard, you're a prisoner. And they actually start believing that shit and acting crazy on that shit. You know, acting that way towards each other on that shit. And that's what reality TV is. They're all just getting locked in this. We're not getting locked in the house, but like they're all in this house and they're being like manipulated to like either love each other or hate each other. Sometimes they fight. Sometimes like, and all of this is just fate, like storylines and like it's all fucking crazy, man. But yeah, I can definitely make that little parallel between the Stanford prison experiment and reality TV.
Go check that out if you only read about it. It's very provocative textbook reading. But enough about reality shows and prison experiments. Landon.
There's something about this room that just like makes me feel like
it kind of feels like we're in like a prison room a little bit, kind of. You know,
a little cell.
I need to talk to you guys through like walls of glass with a telephone and just be like, we're hosting.
It's the gulag.
This is the loose gulag show. Excuse me.
Gulag.
We
I'll be on that war zone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Got that time?
Yeah.
What is the man's gonna get?
Male enhancement pills.
Woo! Let's go. Okay.
That's gonna be interesting.
What the fuck? I forgot I put that one in there.
Oh my god.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
So really, like, I see, a lot of guys nowadays, like all into male enhancement pills and stuff like that. But I don't feel like it's necessarily like a bad thing. But like it's kind of like a cheat code,
Yeah.
It's kind of like a cheat code, Like people want their bodies to look a certain way, They just go get a whole bunch of enhancements. People, spending money like that. But I mean, to me personally, I don't got like, no disrespect towards it, I don't necessarily use male enhancements, but like, being an athlete, we all type of supplements and shit that's gonna help us. So like. Yeah.
He said, I'm already an enhanced male. I don't need supplements to help out with that, man. No, thank you.
Yeah, I was like, I think when I put that in there, I was like, my mind was in like the Viagra, Cialis like space.
Oh, I thought you was talking about the nootropics and all that stuff.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess that's what like. I
but
guess that
you say
is
male
too.
enhancement, like it probably makes more sense. It's like I'd like to last longer in the bedroom. Let me get some male enhancement.
Yeah, like the Rhino pills from the gas station.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
I got some homies that like are like faithful to that shit. They're
faithful,
like, not faithful, but like they talk about it like it's like just some regular thing. Like everybody does it.
We going
I'm
to
like,
party, cop the Rhino pills.
We don't take dick pills, bro.
Show up to the party looking lug nutted up, man. Excuse me.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Yup.
Yo.
Coming in hot. It's the Loose Cannon Show. Dylan, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, man. We had a rousing session, a spiel on the spot. We out here talking about flavor of love and male enhancement and all the good things in between. So we off to a rollicking good start, man. I have no complaints. How about yourself? How you living, man?
I'm good. Hold on. What were you saying? It's all good.
We out here pressing buttons, bro.
Just made, yeah.
Doing what God intended, pressing buttons.
For sure. I forgot to tell you whatever's right here is what's gonna be shown. Yep.
Nice.
We back. Oh shit, my mom's in the live.
What?
Shout out to her, man.
Shout out, moms. Let's go.
Oh, moms.
Hell yeah.
My girl's in the live too.
Hey,
Damn.
I know you had a girlfriend, man.
Yeah.
Dang. Shit, we in here in the studio. I think this is like episode like 10 or something like that. I don't know, but we got a special guest here today. Man, I knew this dude since he was like 0 years old. You know, he's a great guy, great dude to have grown up with. I think I might have changed his diapers a few times.
Man.
You know, he's grown up to be not only my little brother, but now he's my little big brother. He probably beat me in an arm wrestle. It's okay though.
A little bit.
But he plays football at TCU.
Ooh.
He's been getting offers ever since when he was a little kid. Really amazing athlete, really amazing guy. His name is Landyn Watson. Give it up for my boy.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, hell yeah. How you doing, man?
You know, just living, man, taking it day by day, you know, getting ready to get into, you know, the football season. So just getting ready for that. It's exciting.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Shit. When does football season start?
So really, we had our first day of workouts this morning.
Okay.
Like 5:50.
Dang, you drove to Fort Worth?
Yeah.
It came back in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Traveling.
Shows that dedication, man. So, how was the transition from high school football to college football? Because, you know, you're, you know, a kid. I feel like up into, you know, me from the outside looking in, just watching you in football this whole time, you've kind of always, like, been that guy. Because, for one, you've always, like, been, like, the bigger guy amongst everybody. And two, you just kind of just stood out. You just had the highlights, you know what I'm saying? You even played quarterback in middle school. I think you played that in Little League too.
Yeah,
so it's like, I don't know. So how do you transition from being that guy, you know, are you on varsity since you were a freshman? Huh?
Yeah.
Being on varsity since a freshman, and you know, to now you're in this bigger space, even bigger program, and having to kind of prove yourself all over again. How's that process?
It's definitely definitely a mental process. You know, you're going into college. You know, you might be that number one guy in your area, but you're going to a team where everybody was that number one guy in their area. So it's like it's competition. But like me personally, my transition from high school to college wasn't really much of a big difference because like my work ethic, you know, like the work is a lot harder than high school. You know, they train this Power 5 conference. You know, it's playing against the best of the best. So you know, you got to go in, you know, working hard and stuff. But me personally, like from my talent and my perspective, like I feel like there's a lot of people like on my team who are pretty good, but like I feel like okay, like maybe they're not as good as I thought. You know, you might get to college and think, oh, everybody on the team is good, but you got some people you're like how you get here? You know what I'm saying? But like you know, it's all at the end of the day, it all comes down to just you know being on top of your stuff. Grades definitely that's a big transition, really, which is the schoolwork because you know you got so much free time and it's like, what do you do with the free time and like you know take advantage of it or do you just waste time? So
what do you do in your free time?
Me on my free time, you know, I try to, you know, stay in the books and stuff. When I'm done with schoolwork and stuff, done working out and stuff, you know, I'm a game head, you know.
Yeah.
Warzone 2K, stuff like that.
Hey, so I played Warzone for a little bit. I wasn't dedicating enough time though because I kind of fell off when Warzone like made this not huge transition, but when they got into like the later seasons of it and you start like having like money and fucking you start like having these little stations in the place where you can buy guns. I don't know. It's just like it got all crazy and I couldn't keep up. So like when I would play it with my friends, they'd be like, I'd be asking them shit like, yo, how do I buy guns? How do I do this? And they're like, bro, you don't like how you not know this? But I've been playing Arms Race on Call of Duty. It's on Call of Duty Vanguard. Have you ever played that?
Yeah. I actually I was gonna get Vanguard, but I ended up not getting it because I kind of seen the trailer of it, and like the kind of like the multiplayer is like kind of getting more like old school, and it's like as moving forward, you kind of want to see.
What do you mean like old school, like the guns, or like the actual like? What do you mean?
I'd say kind of some of the guns, you know, some of the maps, you know, like kind of bring it back to old school, like World War II, World War One, like type of vibe. Yeah, it kind of brings those type of vibes to the.
I was telling my homie Q, he's the one who told me to get the game, and because I played it at his crib first, and it did kind of look like the guns were like just kind of old and like, but it's like weird though because you got like you'll have a gun that looks like it was from like World War II, but it has like a red dot on it. You can put like a red dot on it.
You can upgrade it, make it look like a newer school gun. So
yeah, but I think this Arms Race mode is tight, right? So it's like 6 bases, A, B, C, D, E, and F. I think it's 6 or maybe 5. So you got to drop to one of the bases, right? And the object of the game is to cover all the to dominate all of them.
Yeah,
right?
I think I know his game mode you're talking about. I think I've played it like once or twice.
Yeah, but every time like periodically a nebula crate drops, right? And you gotta go capture the nebula crate, and then once you get it, you have to take it back to your base. And once you take it back to your base, you get to destroy one of the enemy bases. So let's say your team has 5 bases, and they have 1. And you get the nebula crate, take it back to your base, and destroy that one base that they have. They have like a minute to capture one of your bases, or they lose. Okay, that's not how it usually goes, though. It usually comes down to the very last base. You know what I'm saying? But now that shit's cool, though, man. You should definitely give it a try. Wait, you don't have Vanguard, though, do you?
Nah, I don't.
Well, what other video games do you play?
Really, I most likely be on cause I'm actually like really into the Rebirth Warzone, you know.
Rebirth?
Yeah, Rebirth, Resurgence, you know, where you die but you can come back if your teammates stay alive, and open crates to get you. But yeah, so like I be playing with a lot of guys, like a lot of my other D1 friends, like Caleb Williams at USC, Latrell McCutcheon at USC. Like,
hey, shout out to the homies.
Yeah, shout out to them, man.
Do you have any friends that aren't football players?
Yeah,
like that you hang out with like on campus.
I mean, most of the time the people I'm hanging out with is like my teammates. If I'm not with my teammates, I'm by myself, and if I'm not by myself, then I'm with my girlfriend. That's pretty much it. Just stay out the way.
I can dig it, man. That's pretty dope. Well, shit, man. Do you remember when you like got your first offer?
8th grade.
8th grade. Who was it from?
UTSA.
UTSA. Okay, I do remember that, man.
Yeah.
What was your like thought process when you got your first offer? Was it like, you know, this is supposed to happen, or was it like, I can't fucking believe this shit?
So the crazy thing is, I remember that summer, that was like one of the last camps I went to during the summer, and I remember I did like a bunch of camps before it, and I was like, to the point where I was like, I'm tired of these camps. And I remember mom and dad mentioned like, hey, you should do this UTSA camp.
Yeah. And
I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. And ended up forcing me to do it, which I'm glad and thankful for. And, you know, I kind of went out there, you know, me being the youngest guy, like, they had me, I was already a bigger kid, so they had me working out with like the high school, the juniors and seniors, incoming juniors and seniors. And so I was going through the drills, you know, doing the stuff that they're doing, keeping up as well as them. And then in like competition and one-on-ones and stuff, I didn't lose a rep. So and then whenever they offered me at the end of the camp, it's like I didn't really know much what an offer was, because like at that time I wasn't really following the recruiting process that much of other people. But as like I started getting older, I kind of started using Twitter a lot more, seeing that people were like receiving like big time offers, like Alabama, Georgia, stuff like that. So I'm like, wow, like people are really using their football platform to get their education paid for, and I was like, I can take advantage of this.
Yeah,
so that's what kind of made me like get into like my grind more, like start training in the summers and stuff like that, try to just perfect my craft, be best I can.
Hell yeah, man! It's really good to have that drive, because it's, you know, football, it's like, yeah, it's like people, you know how people say, oh, you play football, you play basketball, but you don't play boxing. I feel like football is kind of in that category also. It's like you got to be like a dog to play football and be good and actually stand out, because it's like, I don't know, man, especially like a D lineman, like, you know, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a man's game.
Yeah,
like seriously, it's a real violent sport. But like a lot of things that people don't realize is that like the physicals and stuff, that's all good. But like really, football is a mental game.
Oh yeah,
it's really a mental game with you know what I'm saying, having team chemistry, working as a team, because it's like it is ultimately a team sport. Like one person messes up, that can cost you the game. You know? So it's like it's really mental.
Yeah,
most definitely, man.
If you ain't on your P's and Q's, you stick out. Yeah, I remember. I tried, and I talked about this on an earlier episode. I tried doing the football grind as a junior in high school, and I was not athletically inclined in the slightest. I was like, man, I don't really know the first thing about what I'm doing out here. They tried to have me play an outside linebacker, and I was like, this ain't working. They tried to have me do like wide receiver. I was like, this ain't working either. I was like, nah, this ain't really quite the fit, I guess. And you played defensive end, correct?
Yeah, so in like Little League, I played all Little League growing up. I played running back. I went to middle school. My 7th grade year, I played quarterback. 8th grade, I played kind of running back and quarterback. And then I made the transition like from 8th grade to my freshman year playing defensive end. So like when I went to that camp, that was my first time playing defensive end. Like I've never, I really got to like,
Interesting.
The camp you went to when you were in 8th grade?
Yeah, like, well, I was kind of like, it was like after 8th grade, like going into freshman year.
The summer?
Like, it was in the summer. But like I haven't even stepped foot on like the high school campus yet.
Yeah,
Wow.
okay. Damn, man.
And how was it when you first started trying DN?
Honestly, like at that time, like I wasn't really like the biggest. I was around like maybe like 6'1".
Yeah.
Like that size. So I'm thinking like, okay, like I'm about to be going against guys who are like 6'5", 6'6", and up and 300 pounds. So I'm like, is this gonna be a like an actual good position for me, like personally? But like as I like started like getting more into it, you know, a person I look up to, Von Miller, like he my size, he's 6'3", he's one of the best. You know, he's not the biggest, not the strongest, but it's just like goes to like technique and stuff. So
got a mind for the game.
Yeah,
he's got a huge contract from the Bills too, man. Oh my God,
that's my motivation.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Him being my size and 110 million, you know what I'm saying? And he just won a Super Bowl, so he just got paid for that too.
So you weren't, were you like intimidated, like as an 8th grader, just like coming into camp with all these high school kids? You know, these kids aren't freshmen. You know what I'm saying? Like
juniors.
These are like, you know, seasoned guys in high school football, which is supposedly when it all officially starts. You know, how were you feeling going into that as like the little 8th grade kid? You weren't little, of course, but like, you know.
But yeah, going to the camp, you know, I didn't know nobody, so like I kind of just stayed to myself, you know, just kind of followed everything the coaches were telling me to do, was trying to just, you know what I'm saying, prove that I'm as good as these high school kids, and I haven't even got to high school yet. So I wasn't necessarily as much intimidated. I was just I kind of felt like it was an opportunity to like show what I can do at a very young age and show my potential. Yeah, I kind of see that. I kind of feel like that's what the coaches really, really saw, and that's why they offered me.
I feel like it's like one of those things where, like, I don't know. I feel like I've been in situations. I don't know if it was just like it had anything to do with sports, but I can remember being in situations where I got grouped with older kids, you know, and it kind of made me feel special. Made me feel like I was like different, you know what I'm saying? It's like we need to put you with, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I don't know. It is a cool feeling. So I can kind of like relate to you in that regard. But how was your first year of college football, man? Because I know you're going into your sophomore year now.
Yeah, well, redshirt freshman year. So like basically, I'm technically academically a sophomore, but I still have 4 years of eligibility. So like I didn't lose a year last year.
That's cool. I never really knew what red shirt meant. But that's basically like when they red shirt people, they're just basically trying to reserve them.
Yeah, so like really how the way the red shirt works is you can play in 4 games, like any 4 games. But if once you play in like more than 4 games, you lose your red shirt. So you can play in 4 games.
So you would become a true freshman, pretty much. Yeah,
basically. So if you play more than 4 games, you'll be necessarily a true freshman. But say for instance you don't play all 4 games, they can red shirt you, and then you'll still be able to you still practice, you still do everything. But like sometimes you don't necessarily play in the games, and you can still have a extra year eligibility.
Nice.
And that's like the main benefit of redshirting, just like that extra year to kind of like
Mm-hmm.
get your bearings about you, get acclimated to the program,
Yeah.
get more familiar with like the scheme that the team runs, and just get your feet wet a little bit before you
Yeah.
actually hit the ground running next year.
Yeah, get used to like the workouts, the just how things are ran. It's definitely a lot more like I'd say like a lot more detailed than high school sports. You know, high school sports you can just be the best guy on the team and not have to do anything.
Yeah.
Practices be kind of like smooth. You know,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
mess around in practice, but like
talk shit to the coaches.
yeah, but like I feel like in college football practices are like completely different. Well, especially because we had a new coaching staff. I got there my freshman year is when Coach P was there,
Okay.
and then he ended
Coach
up
P.
leaving. And then we got Coach Sonny Dykes from SMU.
Coach who?
Sony Dykes.
Sony Dykes.
Sony Dykes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got him, and he ended up bringing in a whole new complete staff, and I feel like this staff is like the truth. So like
Nice.
like in practice, you can tell the difference from last year's practice to this year's kind of practice, like the intensity,
Yeah.
you know, like in between drills, we don't walk to stations. They making people run. You gotta,
Yeah.
So you're constantly like moving. It's a lot. Practice is going like quick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot more energetic, a lot more fun. So
Man, I remember up to a
awesome.
certain point in high school, man, I started to hate football practice, man. But it was honestly, part of it was just me not like really feeling important. You know what I'm saying? Because like we had a lot of guys on our team, man, and it was just like, I don't know, it was just dudes who, you know, cared about it way more than I did, you know, and I think that was the point where I felt like I need to get out of here, you know, because I think it's like, like, I'm not saying like that people shouldn't care about football. I just didn't. So I didn't want to be, you know, wasting my time or nobody else's time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that like, I feel like I was good, but I was just like, it came to a certain point where I was just like, man, do I like really need to be out here in this like 95 degrees right now? Because is it really like, because I didn't really, in the position that I was in, it wasn't going to happen for me type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just like, I was just kind of out there.
It's taking up space, basically.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I did get from like just being a football player is like the discipline and like the mental toughness.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, because it's almost like a fraternity almost, but it's not like hazing, but it's like you get put through hell, man. Those dudes,
Yeah.
like some high school coaches, they'll test you and see how
Oh,
far
yeah.
you can really take it.
It's a
See how
mental
far you've
game.
been before you break.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that like, especially like, you know, like mat drills was one of the ones where they
I remember
really
mat
like
drills,
test you.
yup.
Yeah, that shit was no joke. Mat drills were so fun in middle school, right?
Oh yeah, because you just dive on the
Everybody's
mat.
just like fucking like, yeah,
Yeah,
let's fucking
whatever,
go.
yeah.
We're just like, you're just rolling around. You barely even sweat, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, mat drills are, I was actually excited for mat drills because at my middle
Man, we don't
school,
have a good time today.
me and him actually went to the same middle school. We went to
Oh,
we went
for
to
real?
a middle school
Hopewell.
called Hopewell. But at
Yeah.
Hopewell,
Nice.
one time in football period, they showed us a Stony Point mat drill video, which is like the high school that
Yeah.
I went to. But it still looked fun as hell, bro. I was like, oh shit, I can't wait to
Like,
get to
can
high
I-
school
can
so
I
I can
join
show
in on
everybody
that?
up
Is
on
that
these
an
mat
option?
drills. But
Can I run some
nah,
mat
bro.
drills
Like
real
they
quick?
fucking
Thank
close
you.
the door, cut the heat off, like
Oh yeah.
fucking and you get in there after the linemen are done, so the mat's already all sweaty,
Yeah.
and like it's and you can see like the windows all fogged up, and when it's like off season and it's. Is it off season? No. Like just when it's like in the wintertime or when it's cold outside,
workouts.
you open that door and all that steam just fucking comes out like somebody's taking a shower in the fucking. Oh man,
Yeah. I feel like, and especially at the college level, like that's their job. They're trying to get
Yeah.
people to quit. Like
Yeah,
they're trying
yeah,
to
trying to
make
weed
it.
everybody
Yeah,
out.
because it's
Yeah.
like
they need to see who's
they need
got
to
the
s-
medal about them.
yeah. So I feel like in college it's a different type of like pushing you to a different level, pushing to a level where it's like, can we trust you in the fourth quarter, like
Yeah.
big game and that type of moment. But I feel like one of the hardest workouts I've ever been through was this thing called Colorado. So
okay,
Colorado.
it's a Colorado. It was like a series of a whole bunch of drills, but mind you, it's like the entire football team in an indoor facility. All doors are closed, no
Yeah.
AC.
okay,
So it's like once you get in there, it's already hot. It's during the summer, like it's 100 degrees
God.
outside, and it's, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Summer,
It's a hot
Texas.
box.
yeah.
So it's hot. You get in there already, it's hot, and then we do a whole bunch of constant agility, running and change of direction, like running the whole time.
Nice.
And it's like, it gets to the point where it's so hot, it's like everybody's fighting for the same air. Like, it's like, it's hard to breathe. Everybody fighting for the same air. Everybody's breathing hard, and yeah, it's hell.
Show up. So, you had a bunch of offers going into college, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you got your first offer when you were in 8th grade. So I can only imagine they kept coming in up until you were a senior in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
What made you come down to this decision of TCU?
So originally, before I started my junior year, I was committed to LSU.
Right.
And I remember I went up there on a visit and like committed right away. I was like, yeah, this is where I got to be. Like, this NFL factory right here.
Yeah.
You know, but like during the recruiting process, I was committed the year they won the national championship. But the thing is, my position coach that recruited me and offered me, he had ended up like getting hurt, tearing his ACL or something like that.
Oh,
the
bro.
coach did?
Yeah, the coach did.
Oh,
For like
wow.
he was playing basketball or something, and
that's
you
tough.
know, got hurt.
You don't like
So
to see that.
yeah, so they brought in another guy from the NFL to like fill in for him.
Yeah.
And I remember asking Coach Ed Orgeron, and I asked him, I was like, is my coach gonna be coming back next year? You know, like he hasn't been coaching at all this year. Like, what do y'all plan on doing? He told me like, he's gonna be coming back. Yeah, so I'm like, okay,
Forget about it.
yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then I remember just being in my room one day and just getting a notification that him and Dave Aranda went to Baylor.
Oh,
wow.
I was like, wow. I was like, so Coach O just like told me one thing and then they did another. So I was like, I don't like what LSU got going on right now. So I ended up decommitting. And then really, like, the crazy thing is, so I got offered by TCU my freshman year.
Okay.
I went to a camp up there, got offered at the camp, and then the next day I went to Oklahoma State camp, got offered at that camp.
Just getting all the
And yeah, I was going on the camp circuits, getting offered at camps and stuff like
Dude.
that. But
rounds.
during during the whole recruiting process, they kind of stayed close. You know, they're right up the road, 2 hours away. That's not far.
Yeah.
So even when I was committed to LSU, like they were still pushing for me.
Yeah.
And that kind of stood out to me. I was like, yeah, they must really want me.
Yeah.
And I remember when I decommitted, like they started pushing at me harder, and then I started actually
Let
breaking
me know if you change your mind.
yeah. And then I kind of actually started breaking it down because, you know, my ultimate goal NFL, I'm trying to go somewhere where I'm going to get developed in, you know, an NFL factory.
Yeah.
And the one thing I didn't realize during the recruiting process, I was just kind of looking at, a bigger school, like going to play on a big stage. But a lot of guys go wanting to play on a big stage and then sit 3 years before playing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to find somewhere where I can play early.
Yeah.
And with
somewhere for like a realistic experience.
yeah, realistic,
develop.
And with TCU, I remember around the time where I was getting recruited by them, they had like 11 guys drafted in the NFL one year.
TCU?
TCU, yeah.
Nice.
And it was like a lot of first-round picks from the defensive side, and that's what really stood out to me. So I was like, okay, like defensive players are going to NFL right up the road from up here. So like, I'm kind of interested in that. So that's what kind of really made me choose TCU, closer to home, to where mom and dad can still, you know, come to the games. And
Yeah.
That's cool.
so it's not too far away from home, but it's far enough, you know.
Yeah. Hell
Rock and
yeah.
roll, man. Who are some alumni from TCU that went on to have like substantial success in the NFL? Do they got anybody there that sticks out?
I got a lot of people.
I know there's a few
A
people,
lot of
but I'm
people.
spacing on like the actual specifics of who would be like, oh, you went to TCU? Oh, you should see this guy wound up going to the league.
One of the greats, Landyn Tomlinson went to TCU. LT went to TCU. His
I
number.
forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah, his
he
numbers
was so
are
nice on like
that
Madden
rocks.
06.
Yeah, his
Man.
numbers are tired, but there's a lot of
Crazy
great
nice.
guys like Ben Banagoo, Ross Blacklock, Jalen Rager.
Oh yeah, Jalen Rager did go to TCU.
Jalen
That's
Rager,
right.
yeah, Jalen Rager. Another guy was Jeff Gladney. He had
yeah.
recently passed
R.I.P. to
a couple
that
days
man,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah, R.I.P. to him. But he was another guy, a stud. You know, he was going to be playing with the Cardinals this year.
Yeah, the
But
Vikings took him in the first round.
first round,
right?
first round pick. Took Jalen Rager first round. Took Ross Blacklock first round. Ben Banagoo was like second round, but like a very like high second round, like barely fell to the second round type of pick. And just seeing those guys, like those defensive guys, go off the board early, right up the road, was like, okay, like if they can do it, I can do it. You know?
Yeah.
Easy.
Most definitely, man.
Do you have a team that you would like to be drafted by? If, say, you kick all the ass in college, you take a name, shaking hands, kissing babies, all that, come draft time, who is a team that if they called your name on draft night, you would just be like, yes, this is who I wanted to go. Anybody stick out in particular?
A dream team obviously would be, the Packers. Me
He
being
said we
from,
going Milwaukee,
Let's
boy.
but it's just the fact that like a lot of TCU guys. Also another guy, Ty Summers, linebacker. He's at the Packers. We have another guy, Ennis Gaines. He's with the Packers. Vernon Scott, he's with the Packers. So a lot of TCU guys at the
got a big
Packers.
channel going up there.
Yeah, they're TCU Green Bay pipeline going on, But another team, I really it would be a dream come true as well to like be able to stay in Texas and play in the NFL, like play for like the Texans or the Cowboys.
You go to
like
the Cowboys,
man.
I don't know what Manny's gonna have to say about that. You go to the Cowboys. Nah, that's pretty dope. I guess walk us through a day of a college football player at TCU. You know what I'm saying? Like walk us through like kind of your daily routine as far as like what you do, because I'm pretty sure it's probably a lot different than like a regular college student.
Yeah, it's completely different. So I mean, during the off season, my schedule we work out in the morning now. So I remember that was something I had to get used to with the new coaching staff. They moved the workouts to early morning, and I was early morning all high school. So I mean, it kind of wasn't a lot getting used to, but going from my first year of college, being in the afternoon at 1 to being early in the morning was kind of different. But
why did that change? Because the new staffing?
Yeah, new staff. They kind of wanted to have it in the morning, get it done, so we can just focus on academics the rest of the day. But a day. Like a regular off-season day, like me, kind of looks like, well, during the summer, we wake up. I woke up this morning at like, what, 5:10.
Dark as hell outside.
Yeah, still dark, pitch black, But like, I'm right across the street from the stadium. The stadium lights are on, so it's like, okay, like it's time. Like,
nice.
We gotta get going. So, boom, we start team run at like 5:50. We go from like 5:50 to like, I'd say like 6:50, or like we do like an hour of running and stuff, and then the whole team, we all walk over to go get breakfast. They make everybody go eat breakfast.
Nice.
And so right after breakfast, we have 2 lifting groups. The first lifting group will lift if they have like early classes in the summer, because a lot of players have to like take classes during the summer.
Yeah.
So the people that have the early morning classes, they'll eat breakfast and stuff first, and then go do their lift. And then the second group is kind of like still eating breakfast and like waiting for the first group to get done.
Yeah.
So then boom, like I remember like this morning I woke up at like 5, got to the facility at like 5:30, and was there. I didn't leave the facility really till like 10.
Wow.
Damn.
So yeah, that's that. But I feel like it's just because of, like summer workouts, but like necessarily like for example like a schedule with like during the school year, like during the season, like we'll have like practice in the morning, depending on like what day it is, or depending on how long the practice is. They kind of like toward leading up the game day, they'll kind of make practices like be shorter.
Yeah.
And, like will be like just shell, like helmets and shoulder pads and full pads and stuff like that. But like I'd say practice like you're gonna wake up at like 5 or 6 regardless. So wake up at like 5 or 6. Yeah, practice. A lot of people, breakfast after practice, treatment, cold tubs and stuff like that. And then right after that, a lot of people's schedules are like different. So a lot of people have like tutoring right after workouts and stuff, and then class. Or some people have class right after workouts and then tutoring. And then like later in the day is when we have like position meetings, like mandatory position meetings. We come in, watch film, and like learn installs and just stuff like that. And then, later on, eat dinner and stuff like that. And by the time done with all that, it's like already at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you got homework and stuff like that, you got to do that. That takes time. Me, if I got like free time, I might jump on the game for a little bit with like my boys or something like that. But then you just go to bed and you repeat the process.
Nice.
I feel like with college football, it's like a simulation.
Yeah.
Living in a simulation, like you're doing the same thing every day. Like that's why it's like really about like mental toughness. Like, can you do the same thing over and over and over again at a high level?
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, everything comes with a price, right? I think that, you're making this sacrifice for something bigger. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're not, you don't do this for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I promise.
It's like, and like you're all the way in it too. You're not like having like super big doubts. You're not like wishing that you for another life. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're really dialed in, and I feel like that's good. I feel like if you stay focused and you don't lose sight of why you're doing this, whatever the reason may be. You know what I'm saying? It's on you, not me. But I think that, you know, you'll definitely be happy in the long run for sure. Because, well, not even because, I just wanted to bring this up. Like, I feel like they take like, well, I never played football on the college level, but I feel like in high school they take much better care of the players nowadays. You know,
Think so?
yeah. And I guess the first thing that comes to mind when I say that, and this may be the same nowadays though, but one thing, like in the summertime when school first starts and the season first starts, like you would have to like we would practice during the period, right? So it'd be like maybe like third or fourth period, whatever, and then you get your shit all sweaty, you know what I'm saying? You know, and then you have to come back after school and put that same fucking sweaty ass shit back on. I'm just like, whoa, this is crazy. Yeah, and then sometimes it'll rain like on a practice or something like that. You have to put the same wet shit back on. And like, I think one problem I always had is like losing my laundry in football, like, cause they would all give us this like little buckle clip, and I don't know if my shit always came on missing somehow, and like when your shit come on missing, the coaches don't give a fuck. They're just like,
that sucks.
Yeah.
Like, well, you shouldn't have lost it. You know, they're just kind of like, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, right. And
like,
I think
bro.
I think that's one of the things that kind of like builds up that mental toughness, I guess, you know.
Oh yeah,
it's just having to be like a grimy ass motherfucker that you're just forced to be like hella grimy, you know, when you're a football player, especially in high school, man.
Yeah,
that shit is.
I say from high school to college football, I feel like college football, because college football itself is like, it's $1 billion industry. Like a lot of money goes into like, you know, the whole football program itself. So like, so like I feel like with college athletes, they do like their main focus is to try to like keep us healthy, because at the end of the day, we're the ones that's bringing them revenue, bringing them money. So like, if we're able to perform at a high level, they're able to keep us healthy, so we can perform at a high level. They're gonna get a lot of revenue, a lot of money, to like reimburse back to us, and use all the money that they make from revenue to like put into the nutrition and the treatment and stuff like that. So I feel like in high school, well, especially in my high school compared to like my college, I feel like I'm getting a lot of better care. Yeah. In college. So
nice. Hell yeah. Yeah. I guess I wasn't saying that like they take better care of the kids in high school versus college. I mean, of course they take better care of like college football players. But I guess you kind of just debunked my whole point, because you had to do the same thing, had to put the same sweaty clothes on too and shit. But speaking of like, you know, college football being like $1 billion industry and shit like that, how excited are you, or how do you feel about like college football players being able to make money now?
So I've already kind of started getting a lot of NIL deals.
What's that? I don't know what an NIL
deal
is.
NIL deal is basically like a company. They can
name, image, and likeness.
Yeah, name, image, likeness. So like a player can make money off of his name.
Right.
A lot of companies go after like big time players because their platform is huge. Yeah. So they use them to kind of promote their company or their brand or their product. Right. And they'll pay them in exchange to, okay, since you're doing that, we'll, you know, pay you. And then that's kind of what helps them get more like, you know, like more like people to like start using their company or like, you know, being involved. But with me, I've kind of already like, since NIL started, like me, I wasn't really like worried about NIL starting off, because like I got to get on the field first. Like if you get on the field first, that's what's going to have the NIL come. But just me, like getting a lot of NIL with me not playing my first year was kind of like, whoa, like I'm getting NIL and I haven't touched the field. Like imagine what it's gonna be like when I touch the field. You know? So like
for sure.
That's kind of what I just think about it. But at the same time, it's not all really about NIL. Like NIL it's cool and all, but like I feel like now college football, it's like people are like NIL is like the main thing. Like you're seeing players sign like contracts for millions of dollars, like teenagers, you know?
Crazy.
They'll I've saw people talk about foregoing the draft. They're just gonna stay in college a little bit longer.
Get
a little bit more money. Like, why would I go be drafted like third, fourth round? Probably not get paid that great when you could just capitalize on an NIL deal for that much longer. Yeah, well, and I feel like with me, my plan ultimately, like around my junior year when I'm draft eligible, if I'm not like projected to go as high as I want, I'm gonna definitely stay a year to improve my draft stock. You know, that's what I feel like a lot of people like they kind of like just get out of college quick. Like NFL, like opportunity, boom, and go like fourth, fifth round, and then like end up, you know, going fourth, fifth round, and then
ended up not playing.
It's lost
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
show.
Or like kind of just like was just interested in the money, got all the money, and then just like stopped caring about football.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want it that like to be like my motive. Like I want to be able to like, you know, produce at a high level and be able to go to the next level and be able to still produce at a high level. So
Yeah.
just keeping the same like the same mindset and the same, you know, responsibilities in hand to be successful. So
Nice, man. I never really thought about that kind of strategy, you know, as far as like transitioning from college into the league, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't really like pay attention to like athlete stories that deep. I just don't really keep up with like football players in depth like that. But yeah, I feel like that's pretty smart, you know. I never, because I mean that's not like the conventional thing to do, just like stay in college longer when you could potentially go to the NFL, you know. But that's really smart to really think about like your draft stock and, you know, where you are in the draft and shit like that.
You got to think
man.
about like, you know, if that draft class is heavy in a different position, like first round they're going to be taking a lot of offensive players, then maybe I don't want to go out this year.
Yeah.
You know, it's an offensive heavy draft. First round's going to be mostly offensive players. I'm going to fall like second or third. Maybe I want to stay. And then next year it's a defensive heavy draft. And like already since I stayed another year and I'm already have film and I'm adding on to that film, so draft stock increases and it's a defensive heavy draft, so you're already at the, you know, the top.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
what
you're like being your own agent right now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Man, yeah. I remember that was what was the case with this draft year. They didn't have too many offensive guys going because nobody was excited about the quarterbacks. They had some good wide receivers, but no one was like an elite level prospect. That's why they had Trayvon Walker go first. You had Kayvon Thibodeau and Aiden Hutchinson to go like top five. And then they had like Derek Stingley and Sauce Gardner go
defensive players. And it's like one thing that stood out to me with this draft class is like the game is like how the game is like advancing. Like now it's like teams are going like for people who can go get the quarterback, pass rushers. Pass rushers are getting paid like almost the most in the league.
Yeah.
The second or third most in the league or something like that. But
I just watched that Aaron Donald interview today.
Yeah, I've been watching Aaron Donald interviews, Von Miller vlogs, all that. You know, I watched a Von Miller vlog actually whenever he was on the phone with his agent. He told him like, "Hey, the $110 million deal." Like, let's go. Just seeing, just like, you know, being able to watch like him go through that process and like knowing that it's you know what I'm saying, it's possible. It's real life, you know, and it's like one thing that with me is like I've always like, oh, I want to be in the NFL, want to like growing up want to play in the NFL, but like now that I'm at like the college football level, like it's in my hands, like it's up to me now.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Ball's in your court now.
Yeah,
it's like your whole life you've been kind of like working up for like to this point. You know what I'm saying? This is like the most yeah, I guess I would say like this is probably the most important time as far as like, you know, proving yourself and really like building up your body and getting your shit right, you know. That has to be so exciting, man. It's just like, you know, and to get to do it all for free too.
That's the thing.
Know?
Yeah, like doing it full ride, and especially at TCU, like the tuition is insane, and it's like a private university,
private school,
private university. Yeah, the school's not that big. You know, the class to teacher ratio is like maybe like 20-1, so like that. The classrooms are small, so like. It's kind of keeps you focused being at not like necessarily a large school, like where you can get lost in the, you know what I'm saying, get lost in the crowd. And then I feel like with TCU, like it being a private university and kind of like, you know, like not that very many people kind of can help me like focus.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even like it can help you like academically too. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to get more attention from professors. You know, I feel like I met Dylan in an auditorium class full of like 100 kids. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's so crazy. Like, and it's like, I don't know. I'm more often than not did not do well in those classes.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I remember, I think I've only had like one class that was like a big lecture class, maybe about like 70, 80 students in there.
Okay.
But it wasn't as bad. But like you see those classes, a lot of people don't really be as focused in those classes. Like people sit way in the back and just be on their phones all the time. You know,
I had a literature class that was in that same lecture hall that I had political science with him with, and there were so many kids in this class, and the teacher was on some shit like, I don't really care what y'all do. I'm here to give teach y'all this lecture and teach y'all this content. If y'all fail, y'all fail. If y'all pass, y'all pass.
Yep.
And my ass is in. I used to have. I had headphones on in the class,
Just
bro.
in class, just
Listening to
jamming. Don't mind
bro.
me.
And I was just like, man, but it was like one of those classes where like it was literature, bro. So you would not catch me dead reading in college. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I read way more now, and I read a little bit in like high school and shit. Actually, I read in college also, but during this time, I was not reading like that. But definitely failed that class. I had to take it over again.
You had to take poli sci over again?
No, not poli sci. I don't know how I passed that class because like that shit was just like I couldn't. The professor was just so like old, and he just talked like this the whole time.
Yeah, you kind of don't want to be in there. Yeah. So
it's like at the same time, and it's just like I can't really understand what this guy's saying. I'm not about to sit in the front.
Yeah, you can't.
I got my seat back here. It's like, and I don't know, man. The way that professors deliver content is very important because I've had professors like that. The guy where he just reads off some shit, gives a lecture in the same monotone voice, but then I have like this one history professor named Mr. Johnson.
You talking about
Dr. Johnson?
Yup.
Yeah.
What was it? History? Yeah, he taught history.
He was a
great
fucking amazing bro.
Professor.
He was like, he would teach his lectures like a preacher. He would be like fucking like.
It was captivating.
Yeah,
you're like, bro,
man.
I need to like tune in. This is interesting as hell. Like
sometimes he would like walk around the lecture hall and like.
Oh wow,
you know
like being engaged, right?
Yeah, man. I don't even think he needed like a microphone to teach, man. His voice was just carried through, and I think he was in the military. I think he got sworn in. Not sworn in. He did some military shit in the classroom where he got like. Do you remember that? I don't know what happens with military guys. He got like some sort of like honorary
commendation
ceremony shit.
Yeah.
In class. I don't know. That shit was cool.
It's pretty legit.
But I'm about to put this phone number on here to see if anybody's gonna call in chop it up with us on the show. Let's see. It's 477-2440.
512. Yeah. So playing at TCU, do y'all have any big rivals that like y'all look forward to? Is like, oh, we playing these guys? Let me make sure I got my P's and Q's in order real quick.
Yeah. I feel like our biggest three rivals is obviously UT, OU, and Baylor. Man. And I feel like I'm kind of excited to play at UT because the crazy thing is like me like being recruited heavily, having like Notre Dame, LSU, like big schools like that. And then not having a University of Texas offer, and I'm in Austin.
Salty.
It kind of didn't sit with me well. And it's like the crazy thing is like I was getting recruited by them, going to camps, like showing out at the camps. They're just always like, we're gonna be in contact with you. We're gonna be in contact with you. And it's like I had every other school in the Big 12. Like I had TCU, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Baylor. You know, I just had you know all those other schools. So it's like I can't wait to play them.
I didn't know you didn't have an offer from UT, man. I thought you did.
Shiesty.
Never did.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I ain't have
You got motherfuckers trying to get you coming to Louisiana.
I had Michigan,
Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin too, huh?
I was getting recruited by Wisconsin, but they wanted me to come out on a visit, and at that point, I was like 20 some offers in, so I'm like,
like, bro, I got
if you're not gonna like help me out, help me get out there, then I'm not coming.
It's too damn cold anyway.
It's far, you know.
Not feeling that.
We'll go there for the Packers though.
Yeah, you probably got a great channel.
I definitely go.
So you drive down the road, you a Packer now.
Yeah, but yeah, so just those rivals, you know, OU has always been a good school, you know, big tradition. Their fans be like, I remember our team played at OU and their game was sold out.
Okay.
Stadium sold out, and then I remember we lost, but like I remember players just saying like it was loud the entire time. Like, that's one thing that is one thing that's different from high school ball to college ball. Like in high school ball, when it's like a packed game, it's loud with band going and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when it's college, it's like you got thousands of people screaming. Like especially when you're on defense as well, and it's like everybody's screaming, and you gotta like know you gotta like formation changes. You gotta make adjustments, and you gotta make sure your teammates know the adjustment. It's a lot of mental stuff.
Oh, I bet you gotta have that memorized. You gotta be able to use hand signals, all that stuff, because there ain't nothing you can probably hear out there. So
that's why.
I hope you know what you're doing.
We got a coach on the sideline giving out like a hand signal. If you miss it, then you miss it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Damn. That's a whole set of communication that you got to learn. That's a whole other language you got to learn.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That's
football
so
language. I ain't gonna lie. Football language is pretty hard. You know, they use different terminology for different things. And it's like, you got to be able to understand everything, like, in a game situation. You got to be able to.
Especially on defense.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like defense is way harder than offense.
That's what I was saying.
Because you got
on one of our podcasts, bro.
Yeah, it's way harder because it's at the same time, like with offense, you can like see what a defense is lined up in. You can audible to a different player or something like that. Boom.
Yeah.
But with defense, you say for instance they give you a set call, boom.
Yeah.
They line up in their formation, they shift to a whole nother formation. That changes the entire
Yeah.
call, changes the responsibility, rules, formation, alignment, all that.
Who's responsible for, like,
Probably the guy with the green dot, right?
the green? Who's responsible for calling
Calling the
switch
defense?
up? Yeah. Well, it's like, let's say you like line up in one formation and then the offense shifts their formation. Who's in charge of like getting everybody on the same page to make the quick switch up on defense?
It's not necessarily one person in charge. Like, I mean, there's a a coach on the sideline making the calls, but like you got to know if they move to a different formation, you have to know exactly what play we're gonna run based off their formation. So it's you got to like go into the game like knowing a lot of stuff. You can't go in like not knowing anything. You got to know, like, cause really it's really mental, cause it's like when you watch and break down film, you like really break down film off their formation. So you see what formation they come in, see what they like to run out of their formation. So when it's game time and it's like they get in that formation that you've been knowing about, you kind of already know what's coming. Like, oh, this play's gonna come because they're like this, or this play's gonna come. So it gets easier once you start with the game of football. The more like you like break down and understand, the slower it gets, cause like it goes fast when you're having to think a lot.
What's going on?
But if you don't, if you're like already knowing what you have to do, your responsibility is like the game comes to you. Really, it slows it down a lot.
That's awesome.
I can dig that because it's all in your head, right?
It's
funny
mental.
how like you can like, right?
Yeah.
It's funny how like you can slow things down in your head like that though, man. Like it's like you could do that with everything. Knowing the ins and outs of things and making things as predictable as they can be. It turns into chess.
Yeah, it's really a chess, and it's a lot difficult when it's like you gotta know what they gotta do. You gotta know what you gotta do before they run the play. And some teams they're gonna go hurry up offense or like fast tempo. You're not gonna be able to get set. You gotta just know what you gotta do and like help everybody's on the same page. That's really all defense is about. As long as everybody's on the same page, like say for instance one person mess up, everybody needs to mess up like the same way. So we at least be on the same page, because it's like if everybody's on one page and another player's not, that can cost you the game.
Yep. Yeah, so. I can dig that. What are you have any like goals or things that you want to do different, or things you just want to focus on going into your next year of college football?
I really want to just focus on like getting healthy. Like the crazy thing is a lot of people don't know, like in high school there was probably only like one season I played fully healthy. It was my freshman year.
Wow.
Okay.
Sophomore year I played with a torn meniscus, torn lateral meniscus, played the whole season with it. Then junior year, I kind of was still coming off that injury, so I wasn't 100%, kind of still played, still having nags and pain. And senior year, tore my other lateral meniscus, my other knee.
Dang.
Played the whole season with it.
That's
so
tough.
really just like I know my potential's there. It's just staying healthy. Like if I can get my like body healthy to where I can be able to perform at a high level, like I can perform.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think like a lot goes into it, as far as like, what you're eating and the kind of treatment that you're doing, and like you said, like the cold plunges and all that stuff, man.
Yeah, because like ultimately your body is your moneymaker.
Yeah.
In that case. So you can't like you're not like a regular student as a football player at a college university. You can't eat what regular students eat. You can't
just be doing shit.
Like the stuff they could do, like we usually be having like fraternity guys on the team and stuff like that. Yeah. But like our strength coach emphasized like you want to be focused on like the frat stuff, you can go do that over there.
Yeah.
You know, just stay away from us because you're gonna slow us down. You know.
This ain't a frat ball team. It's a football
This ain't a
team.
frat ball team.
So yeah, so it's just really like, just taking care of your body, because at the end of the day, like that's what's gonna help you get to where you want to be.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
So if you had to put a stamp, like, because you're gonna do like this next year, and I assume the year after that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a realistic expectation of what you anticipate your draft stock to look like? Like, do you feel like I'm going to do, like, the next 2-3 years, I could see myself, like, at the ceiling, hitting, like, third, second round?
Mm-hmm. Really, like, the crazy thing about college football, the way it works, like, let me use Derek Stingley, for example. His freshman year was his best year tape. That's what the national championship team, he had film of him guarding, like, NFL receivers, Jamar Chase in practice, stuff like that. So, like, really, all you need is one good year. You put one good year on tape, like, that'll, like, jump out at scouts automatically.
Oh yeah.
And then once you get extra years to build on that, to build your game and see what
cake.
see what you can like improve on, and see if you improve your game like from your freshman year, then that's kind of like, it really takes one good year. That's why Derek Stingley went before Sauce Gardner. They went off his freshman year. They didn't even go off his sophomore or junior year tape. They went off his freshman year tape. So I feel like if I just get one good year where I'm fully healthy, I stay fully healthy, and have a really, really high production, like a 10-sack season. Yeah. I feel like I can go like first or second round for sure.
Wow.
Let's say
so exciting.
Yeah, it's so exciting to think about. Just like because I feel like you haven't really like scratched the surface of your like career yet, as far as like actually getting on the field and getting those reps in. So it's like I'm sure you're like just so like hyped up about like the moments that you want to create for yourself on the field and for the team and things like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I literally sit and daydream like me making the plays that it's crazy. It's like it's crazy thing is it's like I've literally had me like having like deja vu in practice of me like thinking like, oh, I'm finna do this and like win a rep in practice, and then I go win the rep in practice, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to manifest like, what I want to do. So like I put that in my mind and be like, I'm just tell myself like I'm gonna do this. And it ends up happening.
And you just move with the intention, and I feel like that like people, there's like certain kind of people who like talk shit about like manifestation, and they're like, they think it's just like people just saying, oh, I'm gonna fucking be rich one day, or I'm gonna get $1 million in a couple weeks, and that that's not how manifestation works. It's like you put it in your mind and you take the necessary steps to make it happen, and because it's in your mind.
Yeah, and it's like the fact that it's in your mind and it's like stays fresh in your mind, it makes you move a certain way.
Exactly.
So because you're reminding yourself like, hey, I want to, like, say for instance, I want to be rich. Yeah. I can't be like you thinking about like, oh, I want to be rich. Do I want to go blow this money at the mall, or maybe like save it and like invest it? Like, move differently, And
even then, like if you like, let's say like if you have a thought that I'm never gonna be rich one day, you're not gonna move like that. You're not gonna take the necessary like steps to make yourself rich one day. You're not just like, you won't be inspired to
at all,
make moves like that. And I think that it's really important. Manifestation is really important, and it sounds like a little like, it can sound like kind of corny to some people, and like a little weird for people who aren't really like necessarily like spiritual, I guess. But I feel like it's just common sense, like people make things like sound weird on the internet because the internet is just what it is. There's like, it's almost so polarized, and
internet is a fake.
Feel like they have to be for this or not for this, and I've seen that with manifestation. People talking about like, I don't want to hear no shit about no manifestation, because if you really want something, you got to do it. Well, that's fucking part of manifestation.
Like that's part of it,
You're manifesting it by visualizing it actively. It's like gives you a North Star to direct all the energy and ambition that you got just off the rip by default in a direction that you want to go. That's where manifesting comes from, because it's like everything else just kind of becomes white noise that is just kind of like fades to the wayside, because like, this is not relevant to me getting to where I need to be. I'm going to focus on doing XYZ, and eventually I'm gonna get where I need to go.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, like, believe it or not, like, I literally, like, manifested I would be playing at TCU, like, my freshman year. Even my mom, she was saying, like, I literally had a vision you playing TCU. And it's, like, going through the recruiting process, I'm thinking I'm got, like, LSU, Michigan, like, oh, TCU, like, Big 12. Like, do I want to be in the Big 12 or SEC?
Yeah.
Like, do I want to be at a bigger platform or do I want to, like, you know? Yeah. So I kind of, like, during the recruiting process, I was, like, I was really liking TCU. Then I kind of started fading away from it a little bit. Yeah. But then I really came back to reality, and like understood that like TCU is like this opportunity for me is gonna like change my life. Graduating from TCU, like you're already a step ahead of everybody.
Oh yeah,
private institution. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
They see TCU on your resume, and on top of that, see that you play football athlete, scholar. You know, that sets you a ways away from like just the regular population alone.
Got a little more shine about you. And do you see yourself getting your degree?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get my degree.
Hell yeah!
Like I wouldn't do all the academic stuff that I'm doing right now just to like not graduate. That's how I feel about football. Like I wouldn't be like, college workouts are not for everybody. I promise.
Yeah.
Like it's you got to have a different mindset. Like, but it's the fact that like you're doing it with your brothers, and it's like you're not the only one struggling. You're not the only one hurting. And you seeing everybody else around you struggling. That's what kind of builds like the team chemistry, the brotherhood.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that's what makes you drive. Like me seeing one of my teammates like busting his ass gonna make me want to bust my ass. You feel me? Like just stuff like that. It kind of makes me,
That's awesome.
Well, I think that brings me to like the last like two questions I have. For the last two things I want to shine some light on is, let's say this all works out how it's supposed to, right? And you get your like big payday. What are like some of the first things that you're gonna do? What are you like? If you've had any visions about how that's gonna go? Like, what do you see yourself doing once you get that signing bonus or that contract? You know. So
really, what I've ultimately always told myself was like, let's say I get an NFL check. Yeah. I won't be touching any NFL money. Like my NFL money gonna be put to the side. Really, a lot of NFL athletes make money off endorsements, and they live off the endorsements because endorsements are paying them like damn near NFL salaries. So absolutely. I feel like the first thing I do, save, like if I get my like first signing bonus check, was like own property and rent them on Airbnb. I have that money, like basically have that money make money for itself.
Yeah. You know, I can dig that. That's oh shit, we got a caller.
Oh man, hold up.
You don't have to pick up the phone. You can hang.
Hello.
Hold on. You can hang that up. Hold on.
I got a question for Landyn.
Who this?
Who calling?
Anonymous.
Get out of here. Motherfuckers calling anonymous.
Said we got faceless man.
Well, where you calling from? Can you tell us where you calling from?
I'm calling from California.
Ooh, okay. Cali boys, let's go.
LA.
Hey, shout out to LA. West Side. What you want to ask Landyn?
So Landyn, let's say the timing is right, and the Rams are on the phone. They want you, but so do the Cowboys from Texas, and you're from Texas. Who you going with?
Honestly, that's a hard
question. Von Miller won a ring, remember, with the Rams.
Tough.
That is very true. That is tough. I feel like I would go where my best opportunity would be. Necessarily, say for instance, I'm gonna get more playing time with the Rams than the Cowboys. I'm gonna be with the Rams.
There you go.
Or it depends on like the type of contract I get. Like if I get a heavier contract with the Rams than the Cowboys, then I'll be with the Rams.
Reasonable, but
you got a caveat.
LA or Texas? That's the main question.
LA or Texas? That's a hard one, because I have never been to LA, which I'm gonna be going to LA though in June, but.
Excuse me?
I said I'm gonna be out there in LA in June, but
living it up.
Yeah. But honestly,
you visiting family, Landyn?
Nah, I'm visiting my girl.
You who?
My girl.
Yo, girl.
Yo.
Okay. I see you both.
But honestly, that's kind of I couldn't even really like decide between Texas or LA really because I haven't really get to see LA, but like. Me just going off of where I've been all my life, I have to say Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas.
There you go.
All
right, have a good day, you guys.
You too.
Get up.
Thanks for calling in, brother. Take care of yourself.
Love the life.
I know, it's so dope, man. I'm glad somebody called, man.
Shout out to California.
Yeah, I know, right? West side, the best side. Nah.
That's what they say.
I guess my last question that I had is just kind of like on the other end of the question I just asked. This is like, let's say it doesn't like kind of work out how you foresee it, and what's like kind of like a plan B that you want to kind of rely on. I guess like education that's why you stress so much on the education part of it. But yeah, like what do you see you falling back on if everything doesn't work out? I know it's kind of like weird to say that and like think that way, but I mean like you kind of got to think about that shit too.
Hurts.
It's crazy though, cause like people look at me crazy when I say this. So I'd be like, my plan A is NFL, plan B is NFL.
Nice.
Plan C is NFL.
Yeah.
But like obviously I know one day I'm gonna have to hang the cleats up, obviously. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's why me getting my degree is such a big thing, because being able to fall back on that and go like getting a job anywhere. Maybe I can get into like coaching or something, or like
Nice.
Yeah.
or like helping the youth, or like using my platform as like whenever I get done playing NFL one day to like give back to the little kids and host like camps, host like little organizational things like that to like give back to the youth,
Rock and roll.
It's cool to have that kind of like relentless, like resilient attitude towards it. Like it's like I know what I want and I gotta get it type shit.
It's inspiring.
I really admire that.
What is your degree in, if you don't mind me asking?
Communication.
Rock and roll, man. Cool. I got one. BJ, you got a comm degree too, right? Yeah.
No, I switched to general studies because
that's right.
I didn't even have a 2.5 in college, and you need a 2.5 to get admitted into the mass communication program. So I just switched to general studies, where you didn't need a grade point average, and I just made mass communication, psychology, and media studies my 3 minors, because
That's pretty cool.
general studies you don't have to have like a bunch of major classes. You only have 2 major classes. That's why they make you have 3 minors.
Nice.
So it was kind of my second half of college was kind of cool. Took a bunch of psychology classes, film classes, and I took all the mass comm classes in the beginning because that's what I thought I was gonna have my degree in. But
that makes sense.
But yeah, no mass comm degree. I got general studies. They look at that shit weird on your resume. They're like general studies.
Gen studies. What the hell?
Sometimes they don't even have that on like.
That's like not even an option.
Like job applications, they don't even have that shit on the fucking like thing.
So
the
what'd
selection.
you get a degree in? Having a degree.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I have the degree.
Oh yeah, I got one more. Got one more question too. So, we got college football season literally right around the corner. What is your prediction? If not TCU, I would assume you go in there, you like TCU gonna win it all.
Yeah.
But say TCU doesn't like quite cut it out. Thanks, man. Who is your pick to win it all come championship time?
To be honest, I got Bama. They got their entire defense coming back, and defense really wins championships. And I know a lot of guys at Bama, and they've been telling me like they got a squad. But at the same time, like anybody can be beat. That's the thing about college football now. It's like all the teams are starting to get advanced and good to where the transfer portal, you're getting guys from Bama on your team.
Yep.
Like our school, we got guys from LSU, Bama, like all over. We got SEC people on our team. We got everybody. So it's like any team can beat any team. That's especially in our conference. Like anybody can beat anybody. So I think I got Bama. I feel like they're gonna definitely Coach Saban. You
got Bryce Young.
You got you got those type of people. You got one of my friends, Kendrick. He's a linebacker there. He's in my class. So. And he was a really good linebacker, and he didn't even play. Well, he played a little bit. He played special teams, but, like, knowing that his talent was, like, way, way high and that he didn't even get on the field means, like, they got a squad.
They have a
Like,
they got a gang of boys in there.
he was, like, one of the number 1 recruited linebackers coming out in the nation. And
he said, you're going to have to wait.
Yeah. So, like.
That's crazy.
But I feel like with our team that we're building with the new coaching staff, our culture is changing. They're a lot more about championships than the old coaching staff. Like the old coaching staff was kind of just like whoever wants to come play and showcase their talent to make it to the league, you can do that. But now I feel like
it's like we want to ship.
Yeah,
ship or bust.
Like we knew. The crazy thing was we had a team meeting yesterday, and they were kind of like talking about like championship wasn't even in our mission statement. That kind of like stood out to our new coach staff. They're like what do we do here? That's what our coach asked. Like, what do we do?
Playing to play?
Yeah, like what do we do here?
For the experience.
But
memories, bro.
But that's really cool, man. I mean, yeah, just gotta have the championship in the goal, especially like TCU. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so cool.
Yeah. But we actually gotta get out of here. This clock's all fucked up on the computer. It's telling me it's 9:05 when it's really 9:19.
Whoops.
But it's all good. It's the Loose Cannon Show. Shout out to Landyn Watson for coming through.
Hell yeah.
And we out.
Go
Peace.
Frogs.
Peace.